everyone, I am Vismaya Rubin, founder of Living in Gratitude Today, teacher, speaker, best-selling author, but my favorite role is that of a gratitude gangster. What? So we are in week 2 of our conversation about stress, and this idea is not my own. It came to me from Nancy Matthews when we were having a discussion on the science of getting rich, and it was a chapter, it happened to be the chapter on gratitude, and I was one of the panelists. So she says that her coach suggested that she do this activity around the time the pandemic started. And she called it a 10 by 10. So that's what we're going to call it, a 10 by 10. Or a 10 for 10. So what you do is this. Every day for 10 days, you're going to write down 10 people that you're grateful for. So we know that we're grateful for their family members and the people we love and have great relationships with, right? Easy. But I invite you to also write down the people that have challenged you, that have pushed your buttons, that stress you out, that, you have a love-hate relationship with. Because those are the people that cause you to grow and expand. So I only want you to write them down if you can really sit down and say, what did I learn from this situation? How did I grow? What was the lesson that I was taught? So start to think about that because, you might end up thanking them at some point. Like, thank you for being so hard on me because I really learned that I'm resilient. Or, thank you for not continuing this relationship because I realized I didn't want to be here anyway. This was not good for me. Thank you for being so hard on me because I realized that, I get to stand up for myself, and standing up for myself for the first time was really powerful. And I got to do it with you. So whatever the case may be, find people that push your buttons. The second part may not be, or let me say it this way. For some people, the second part is going to be easy breezy. And for other people, you're going to really have to push and see to expand your mind a little bit. And the second part is writing down 10 things about yourself that you're grateful for. So be very clear. This is not about being selfish or egotistical or egomaniacal. This is really about taking a look at all of your accomplishments because you probably, because you're part of the Living in Gratitude Today movement, do that on a regular basis, but we're going to amp that up to the next level. Things that you may not have written down on your gratitude chart, you're going to write them down for the next 10 days because you need to come up with 10 things that you're grateful for about yourself. And when we start to look at the things that we're grateful for about ourselves, it does a couple of things. Number one, it raises our self-esteem. And it raises our own level of respect. And we show people how to treat us by the way that we treat ourselves. So if we start to love ourselves and respect ourselves and honor ourselves, we're also showing other people how to behave with us. When you start to write down all of the great things that you do, you start to notice that you have all these abilities that you may not have realized that are strengths. You may go, it's just something that I do. No, write them down because that's something that you can put in your toolbox so that when you're having a rough day or you just want to amp up your level of happiness, you can pay attention to that and push you forward. Also, these are the things that you've written down. These are the things that push you out of that comfort zone and into the courage zone, is what Stephen Covey likes to call it. The comfort zone where you feel safe and you're secure and it's yummy and delicious. And sometimes we need to be there. But our courage zone is where the place that we get things done because we're uncomfortable and we grow and we stretch and we expand. So when we start to acknowledge what's great about us, stepping into that courage zone is not as challenging. Because we know, hey, here's a list of all the things that I've done. Here's the list of all the things that I'm great at. So when we step into that next space, we might step into that space a lot faster with a whole lot more confidence. And you never know where you'll get, you never know how much you'll expand from that. And the second thing is that when you write down the things that you love about yourself and that you're great at or your successes, it increases your motivation. Think about if you're on a diet and you lose 5 pounds. You're motivated to lose the next 6. And when we start to see the things that we're great at, and we start to write them down, that serves as motivation so that we can continue to move forward. And the last thing is that it improves your mood, because who doesn't like to see a list of things that they did well? Or you check something off your to-do list, you write it down. That makes you feel good. It makes you feel happy. So it could be something as small as, you know what, I called the bank today because that's what I had to do. Or I cleaned out the car because I've been saying I was going to clean out the car. Or I drank a glass of water instead of having another cup of coffee. It doesn't have to be something monumental, but those things make you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel a sense of accomplishment. And again, it increases your motivation, because if you could do it once, you can do it again. It raises your self-esteem, because then you start to see, wow, I'm really a fantastic, wonderful, delicious human being. I'm going to create more of these moments so that I can have even more deliciousness, more yumminess. And really giving yourself permission to celebrate. And that's also what this does, is it gives you permission to celebrate. Because not everybody celebrates us all the time, every moment of the day. And the greatest human desire is to be connected and loved in community. And because we're in these crazy times right now, we may not necessarily be in community, at least face to face. Be your own community. So, all right, I'm also going to challenge you to do this. Put the 10 things that you love about yourself, or your 10 accomplishments, in the Facebook group, so that way we can also celebrate you. By the end of the 10 days, you will have 100 things on that list that you have accomplished, that you love about yourself, that you get to celebrate, and we get to celebrate with you. So I look forward to spending the next 10 days with you. And again, I am Vismaya Rubin, your favorite gratitude gangster.